today with just thinking about breathing. So I have been doing my little breathing challenge thing every day, although it's been a bit of a slow starter. It's just been explaining it. But just to talk very, very quickly about the breath. So just to say that the breath is one of the only things that we can do, obviously, both consciously and unconsciously. So it's an amazing thing. And what we need to realize is that we can use our breath to almost trick ourselves into feeling calm. So if you are ever in a situation of feeling anxious or nervous or anything like that, you can use the breath as your tool to literally just to trick the body to calm you down. So what we need to do very often is just to unravel old habits of breathing and just to learn how to breathe, to use your whole lung capacity. So when people talk about breathing deeply, it's not necessarily breathing and opening your chest deeply that way and lifting up like that. It's breathing deep into the lungs and using this bottom half, the bottom third of your lungs the most. That's a bit that we don't normally use. So breathing deeply, we're going to refer to as breathing deep into your lungs. So when we do, sometimes I've done the 3-part breath where you breathe into the tummy, then into the ribs, and then into the opening the collarbones. So that's because we use the tummy. Breathing into the tummy draws the diaphragm down, and that literally just sucks the air in, so we can then start filling out the lungs. Then you fill up the rest of the lungs and bringing that into the top of the chest. So it's that diaphragm that we want to strengthen that literally does all the work. The diaphragm and the intercostal muscles in between the ribs are what really help us to get that really strong, lovely deep breath. So we can use that breath. It helps us with anxiety, find calm. It's good if you've got headaches, if you're really tired, or if you want to energize, you can use the breath to energize as well. Really good if you've got a racing mind or can't get to sleep, then you can just use that long, lovely deep breath. And also one of the other major benefits is if you want to do free diving, which you may, so you can really increase your lung capacity and dive to huge depths. So we'll all be good at that by the end of it all. So the one we're going to do today, we'll just start just by doing some breaths, just gently just breathing in and out. And then we're going to do an exercise that will just give us an idea of the capacity of the lungs. So we'll do that one as well. So we're going to start standing up today. I'll just put everyone on mute if that's okay. Fantastic. Okay, so we'll just do a few breaths first of all. So just find your mountain pose, find that connection with your feet, find that grounding. Just settle in there. So really important here to get that connection first of all and feel strong in your pose. Sometimes feels a bit strenuous standing up even. I know it sounds odd to say, but when you've got that prospect of either lying down to breathe or standing up, I think I'd rather lie down. But once you are standing up, just finding that connection. Lovely. Just have your arms gently by your sides. We're just going to do a few rounds of breaths. This one, the chap called the food mixer. So think of your arms as just turning round in circles like a food mixer. As you inhale, have your palms open. Just bring the palms open and draw the shoulders back. And as you exhale, just draw your arms forward and roll the shoulders forward. So let's inhaling, arms back, and exhaling. While we're doing this, just continue at your own pace. I'm just going to just talk about breathing in through the nose as opposed to through the mouth. So if you breathe in through your nose, you get a slow, steady stream, which allows you to oxygenate the blood more evenly. So breathing in through the mouth just means that you sometimes take the air in too quickly, and that draws it to the upper part of the chest. And it also means that you're not then able to reach the bottom part of your lungs, which is where all that gas exchange happens. So that's why in yoga we do long, steady breaths through the nose. Obviously, if you've got a blocked up nose, hay fever, cold or whatever, then don't close your mouth or you will die. So just do what works for you. But optimally, breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, so with lovely, just lovely long deep breaths in and out. Okay. So the next one, we're going to almost mark the capacity of our lungs. We're going to think of our arms as markers. So we're going to raise from stage 1, mark 1, and then raise middle higher, mark 2, mark 3, all the way up overhead. I don't know if you can see my arms. And we're going to get to 8 at the top. So as we breathe in for the first stage, we're just raising our arms to level 1. And we're going to inhale to level 1 of our lungs capacity. And then exhale. Then raise the arms to level 2. Then it's like 2/8 of the lungs really. And then exhale. All the way up to number 8, which is arms overhead, which is full capacity of the lungs. So it's just to give us that sense of exactly how much air we can hope to get into our lungs. Okay, so let's inhale deeply through the nose and exhale through the nose. And inhale again. Exhale. Okay, so starting with your arms by your side, let's inhale together for 1. Just 1/8 of the capacity and out. Inhale for 2, so 2/8 of the capacity, raise your arms to level 2, exhale for 2. So quite shallow breathing. Inhale for 3/8 worth. Exhale. So count to yourself as you inhale and exhale. Inhale to 4/8 or half. And exhale. Inhale for 5. And exhale for 5. Inhale for 6. And exhale for 6. So really breathing into the majority of the lungs now. Inhaling for 7. And exhale for 7. And the last inhale, drawing the arms up overhead, the count of 8. When you get to the very top, see if you can just take in a little bit more breath even. There's always room for a little bit more. And then exhaling slowly with a count of 8. Lovely. And then we'll just do a couple of deep breaths now. So really breathing in there, sweep the arms up overhead to full capacity again. And exhale. Really lovely long exhale. Inhale, really breathing slowly, evenly. Thinking, filling up the bottom of the lungs. And exhale. And then we'll go free diving a bit later today, if that's okay. Fantastic. Okay, have a bit of a bend in the knees, feet hip width apart. As we inhale, just sweeping the arms up overhead. One more lovely inhale. This time as we exhale, take the arms behind, leading with the chest, coming into your forward fold. So bending the knees. Bend the knees as much as you can so you can get that chest on the knees. Let yourself hang here in your forward fold, so releasing through the shoulders. Let the tension go in the shoulders. Feel the neck release. So if you're holding any tension in the neck at all, just let that head hang really, really heavy. Maybe let the eyes close. So a little circle of the shoulders here. Releasing through the shoulders. So staying with that long breath now, keeping that breath focused and even. And let the breath be the focal point of your practice. So we keep drawing yourself back to the breath in each pose. Just very gently, just drawing your chest, your upper body around the legs, finding that little bit of movement there. Fantastic. So having this lovely soft bend in the knees, ready to find some energy drawing up. Let's inhale, root to rise. And hands back down to namaste. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, leading with the chest. Send the arms behind, down into forward fold. As you inhale, lengthening, straightening the back into halfway lift. Finding the length in the crown. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bending the knees, sweeping up. And down to namaste. Coming straight back in, inhale up. Arms behind. It may be at some point that you start to feel a little bit dizzy with the movement and the breath. Inhale to lengthen. So if that's the case, just give yourself a chance just to recuperate. Just stand and breathe. Inhale up. Exhale, namaste. One more, inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to lengthening. Exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, sweep up. Follow your hands with your eyes, so your gaze is going upwards here. So just interlace your fingers here, and then just reverse the grip. Let me move backwards a bit. Reverse the grip so that you've got your palms facing up towards the sky. Fantastic. Just have a little wiggle around so you can really feel the shoulders start to draw down the back. If you feel that you're squeezing up like that, just try and bring the shoulders down. If that's really uncomfortable there, then just lower the arms a little bit down. Excellent. Drawing the ribs in. We're just going to rise up onto the tiptoes. We're going to hold it here for a good few breaths. So the longer we hold the pose, obviously the more of a challenge it is. Take the gaze in front. Think about the tailbone. Have the tailbone lengthened. Try to avoid sticking the bottom out. So drawing the ribs in, drawing the tummy in. If you want to close the eyes here, then you can close the eyes. So draw the inner thighs together, have the glutes engaged as well. A really active lengthening and strengthening. Fantastic. One more. Inhale to really lengthen. Squeeze those arms up to the ears. And as you exhale, coming down on the heels, gripping the hands behind or interlacing the fingers behind the back now, just bringing those arms back overhead. So returning to the forward fold, really breathing into the back of the legs, the back of the hamstrings. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Fantastic. Frame the feet with the hands. Step the left foot back 45 degrees with the left foot and rising up into warrior one. We're going to have the arms overhead to begin with and just tune into the shoulders. See how your shoulders feel. So let's draw the arms back down again now and then just lift them up to just pointing out in front of us. Fantastic. Rooting down through that back leg, the outside edge of the back foot. Tucking the tailbone. Can you bend a little bit deeper? Clasp the hands in front, find your Charlie's Angel grip and really just press those palms together and use that to open up across the back. Let that knee, don't let that knee extend further than the front of the front ankle. Fantastic. One more inhale, really lengthening the arms away. Place the hands on the hips And just straighten that front leg, maybe just make the stance a little bit shorter, step that back leg in. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, into forward fold over that leg there. Coming into your pyramid pose. So hands can either go on the floor. If you've got any books or blocks, you could put them on there, or on your shin. Keeping the pelvis straight, facing forward. Fantastic. Inhaling. As you exhale, use that exhale to engage through the core. Pull that tummy in, tuck that tummy in under the ribcage. Really make it active as you can in as many ways as possible. So pressing down through the toes, pulling up through the pelvic floor, engaging through the tummy, lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the crown, drawing the shoulder blades down, using your whole body. Fantastic. As you inhale, just lengthening through the crown one more time. We're going to come into high lunge. So place the hands either side of the front foot and just step that left foot back a bit. And we're now straightening off the hips again. So kind of rising up onto the ball of the back foot. Coming up into our high lunge. So sweeping the arms up overhead. Then just taking them behind and place your hands on your hips. So with your thumbs facing towards the middle. So your thumbs are on that center point of your sacrum. Relaxing the shoulders back. Inhaling. And then just gently coming into a back bend there. And just see what works with you today. So we're rising up and out of the hips and over. Inhale. As you exhale, frame the front foot. Step that left foot forward. Half your feet hip width apart. And as we sweep up, we're going to sink that bottom back into chair. So weight through the heels. Can you lift your toes up? Can you sink that bottom down any further? Again, tucking the tummy in, tailbone under. Really feeling it in the bottom of the legs there. One more inhale. As you exhale, coming down into forward fold, stepping the right foot back and then rising straight away into our warrior one. So arms overhead first of all as you find your position. The back foot 45 degrees. And take the arms down and just lift them up in front, pointing to the front, and take that mudra. Maybe interlace the fingers the other way, the abnormal way. Finding a little bit. Squeezing the palms together, really drawing in front, the back of the shoulders apart. Finding that length. Again, think of all those areas where you can really make the pose an active one. One more inhale. And as you exhale, straightening the front leg, hands on the hips. And then just step that back foot forward a little and a little bit wider. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, begin to fold over the front leg. So hands can go either side of the foot. On the shin, just tune into your breath here. Has the breath become uneven? If it has, just aim towards that lovely steady inhale and exhale. One more inhale. As you exhale, framing the front foot, step that right foot back, rising up into our high lunge. So come rising onto the ball of the back foot, squeezing the inner thighs. And then hands clasped behind the back. Oh no, we're going to place them on the hips, aren't we? Hands on your hips, thumbs just tapping into that center of the sacrum there. So use that to push the hips forward, push the pelvis forward. As you inhale up, find that gentle back bend. For quite a balance here, you need to really squeeze the thighs, engaging through the core. One more inhale. And as you exhale, frame the front feet. Step the back foot forward. You're going to rise, sweep up. arms overhead, and then down into our namaste. Finding a wide-legged stance now, and then have the toes just pointed inwards, big toes inwards, a little bit pigeon-toed. Fantastic. So hands on the hips, and we need to have a lovely bend in the knees here. So we're going to place the hands. If you make your hands into fists first of all, let's do it that way. So hands into fists, but tuck your thumbs in. So the thumbs across the palms, then wrap your fingers around your thumbs. And then see if you can get your hands on the floor directly beneath your shoulders. If they're not reaching, maybe you could pop them on a cushion or a block. But have the knees bent as much as you need to. That will help you get down there. Fantastic. Okay, so as we inhale, we're going to lengthen through the spine. If you feel that you're really rounded in your back, then just place your hands on your shins or on your thighs to really be able to find that straight spine. Give you that length. Excellent, that's better. So let's inhale to lengthen through the back. As you exhale, we're going to round away. So we're almost doing cat-cows. Inhale, dropping the tummy, sending the pelvis to the sky, bending the legs a little bit more to get that dip at the tummy. And as you exhale, straightening a bit more through the legs and rounding up through the spine. Inhale, dropping the tummy. Bottom up and out. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding away through the shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. We're just going to bring the feet to the front of the mat, step to the front, keeping the hands low, and then just step back into our plank. We're finding your high plank. Have your feet hip distance apart, hands just beneath the shoulders. Pressing down through the hands to really find that connection. At the bottom, come down as much as you can to be in your straight line. Inhale to lengthen. So we can either just lower down here, knees first or all the way down, or we can come gently down into low plank first of all, and then lowering all the way down. Placing the hands beneath the shoulders as we inhale, pressing down through the pubic bone. Tops of the feet lifting into cobra. And exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lifting gently into cobra. Exhale, down. This time as we inhale, we're going to lift and just lift the hands off. So we come almost making our arms into that W shape. And lower. One more lift into our W shape. Inhale, keep breathing. And lowering down. On the next inhale, come up into your W and extend the arms out, making it into your Y shape. So drawing those shoulder blades together. Inhaling. Exhale, draw your arms back in to come down. Inhale up. Extending the arms into your Y. Hold it there. Can you lift a little bit higher? Really drawing the shoulder blades together. And lowering down. Fantastic. Okay, we're just going to roll onto your side now. So just have your arms by your sides as you roll onto your side. We're coming into a half locust. But we need to have our arms underneath us. So on your side, just clasp your hands together, or just place one palm on top of the other, actually is probably best. Place that over your pubic bone, then roll back onto your front so that your arms are drawn away, extended underneath you. Okay, have your chin resting on the floor. If it's really uncomfortable to have your chin, you can have your forehead there, or you can put a pillow underneath there. We want to draw the shoulders in towards each other. So just a gentle rock from side to side. Just tuck those shoulders underneath. So we're stretching the arms away, rounding through the back. As we inhale, we're going to press down through the upper arm, through the forearms. Just lift that right leg up. Exhale down. Inhale, lift the left leg up, high as you can. Exhale down. So keep pressing through the forearms. Inhale, right leg up, high as you can. And down. Inhale, left leg up, high as you can. And down. This time we're going to hold it there. So inhale the right leg up. Let's hold it there. A little bit higher. Keep pressing down through the forearms. Find that length. So resting the chin onto the floor. A little bit higher. And inhaling that left leg up. Holding it there. Keep the breath now. Keep that breath long and even. Inhaling. A little bit higher. And relax it down. So just release the hands to underneath. Again, just coming up. Placing the elbows underneath the shoulders this time. Coming into a lovely stretch. So forearms are parallel, shoulders back and down the back. Tops of the toes pressed in. Let's inhale as you really lengthen, so drawing the chest forward. If you want to take it further, take the hands to the corner of the mat. Just gently straighten the arms. Again, make sure those shoulder blades are pulled down the back. Lovely. One more inhale here to lengthen. As you exhale, just tucking the hands under, pushing back into our child's pose. So we've done some deep back bends there. So the child's pose is our lovely counter pose. So send that expansion with the breath down to the base of the spine this time. Lovely. On the next inhale, coming up to a seated position. So legs extended in front, and just let the hips settle there. So maybe a little circle of the hips around. Finding that connection, lifting the sit bones there, and really sort of edge the sit bones towards the back of the room so that you find that real connection. Fantastic. So feet together. As we inhale, take the arms out to either side, lengthening, really stretching arms. Shoulders relaxed and down. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, just leaning forward and just taking hold of the toes or the shins or wherever your stretch gets you today. And coming into your forward fold. As you inhale, release a little, extend through the spine a little. As you exhale, bend deeper into your fold. Inhale, just releasing off. Exhale, fold. Fantastic. So remaining here. So keep that core strong. Just draw the legs in a little. So we're going to bend the knees in a little. And take hold of the back of the legs. It might be the thighs. If you can, take hold of the ankles. We're just going to engage with the core. So draw that tummy button in. Really pull that tummy button up under the ribs. Rolling back gently and keeping those legs extended as much as possible, drawing them to the chest. So just have a little play here with the toes. Let's draw the toes towards the knees. Find how that extends the stretch. And then extend the toes away. Inhale towards the knees. And then extend them away. Lovely. Let's just plant the heels down on the floor now. So we're going to come into our Shavasana. So our Shavasana today, if you have got a chair near you, you might want to just come up to the chair and literally just hook your feet onto the chair. So you're sort of at right angles. It's a lovely way just to do your Shavasana. Alternatives are you can put your feet against the wall. So you can bring your bottom up to the wall, have your feet against the wall. Resting on a chair is lovely. Or you can just lie on your back with your legs in the air. See how that feels. But better to be supported. So have your legs either against the wall, on a chair. If those aren't accessible at the moment, then just come into your regular Shavasana. If your legs are on a chair, just make sure, just have a little wiggle of your lower back. Just make sure you've got that natural curve of the lower spine. Lifting the shoulder blades. And let the arms just fall by the side with the palms open. So lifting the legs here has a huge amount of benefits for us. Really great. At the end of the day, if you've been on your feet a lot, just lie with your legs either in the air or in this pose. It just gives everything a chance to really restore, rejuvenate. So going to just return to that state of just being. Maybe draw the awareness from the heels, the backs of the knees where they're in contact with the chair or the floor, the back of the pelvis. Just noting the sensations. And draw the awareness to the front of the tummy. And maybe to the side of the ribs as the inhale and the breath arrives and departs, just the movement. The gentle easing and the flow of the body. And the weight of the shoulders, the shoulder blades. Feeling of the back of the hands as they're feeling heavy as they rest on the floor. Drawing the attention to the back of the head. Just relaxing the eyelids now. And the eyes. And the eyebrows, that whole space across the top of our head, just letting go. Softness in the cheeks, softness in the mouth. Let the jaw just hang. Let the tongue just fall to the bottom of the jaw. Return to that state of the breath unconsciously happening. We're just going to stay here for a minute or so, just staying with that sense of just being. No effort, no doing. And I'll come back and get you just in a couple of minutes. Just begin just to tune in and visualize the world and the space going on outside. You might be able to hear sounds of the birds, the breeze. Just take your awareness outside. And begin to bring that visualization and that awareness to the room and the space around you. Any noises you can hear. Bring a visualization of that space into your mind. And returning that focus back to the breath. So following the breath in, following the exhale out. Maybe let's take a deep inhale together and sigh it out through the mouth. One more lovely long inhale. Sigh it away through the mouth. And then just doing whatever movements you need just to waken the body up again. So gentle movement of the fingers, the shoulders, maybe drawing the knees into the chest or a full body stretch. Beginning to wake up again. Slowly and gently moving onto your side for a couple of breaths. Then easing yourself back up to that seated position. And once you've found your seated position, just rest here. And use that time, just a couple of breaths, just to resettle. Finding that space in the spine again. Let each breath allow the spine to find its natural length. Finding that space across the chest. Lovely. As we inhale, draw the arms overhead, finding that connection with the fingers. And exhale, bringing the hands down to Namaste. Lovely. We'll seal our practice today with an expression of gratitude for us all for continuing to share our practice together, which is fantastic. And for everyone else out there, the rest of our families and everybody else. Namaste, everybody. Thank you all very much for sharing your practice.